Do you remember a time when getting out of bed felt easy? When your knees didn't ache, your fingers moved freely, and walking across the room didn't require a moment to steady yourself? For many people after 60, those simple moments slowly change. The stiffness in the morning lasts a little longer. The joints feel swollen. Even small movements can bring a quiet, nagging pain. Most people believe this is just part of getting older. But what if something on your plate each day is quietly making that pain worse? Certain everyday foods can slowly increase swelling in the joints and make arthritis feel heavier than it should. The worrying part is that many seniors eat these foods without realizing what they may be doing to their bodies. Today, we're going to gently uncover 7 common foods that may be making arthritis worse after 60, starting with one that many people eat almost every morning. 1. Processed meats. A hidden trigger for joint pain. Let's begin with a food that many people have enjoyed for years without thinking twice about it. Imagine a familiar morning, the smell of bacon in the kitchen, a slice of ham beside warm eggs, maybe a sausage on the plate. For decades, this kind of breakfast has felt comforting and normal. But for many people living with arthritis after 60, foods like bacon, ham, sausages, and other processed meats may quietly make joint pain worse. These meats go through heavy processing before they reach the table. During that process, certain substances form that can slowly increase irritation inside the body. Over time, this irritation can settle in places that are already vulnerable, especially the knees, fingers, hips, and lower back. Think about an older gentleman who begins his day with bacon and sausage almost every morning. At first, nothing seems unusual. But little by little, his knees start feeling stiffer when he stands up. His fingers feel swollen when he tries to button his shirt. The pain didn't arrive overnight. It crept in quietly, day after day. Many people believe this change is simply part of getting older. Yet sometimes the foods we eat regularly are quietly adding fuel to the discomfort in our joints. This doesn't mean you must give up flavor or satisfaction at the table. Choosing simple, fresh foods such as grilled fish, beans, or gently cooked chicken can still provide the nourishment your body needs without placing the same strain on your joints. And while processed meats are a common part of many diets, they are only the first item on today's list. The next food may surprise you even more, because it's something many people enjoy in the evening without realizing how it may quietly affect their joints. 2. Alcohol. A quiet evening habit that can stir joint pain. After a long day, many people enjoy a small moment of comfort in the evening. Perhaps it's a glass of wine with dinner, a cold beer while watching television, or a small drink shared with friends. For years, this habit may have felt harmless, even relaxing. But for many adults living with joint pain after 60, alcohol can quietly make inflammation inside the body more active. When alcohol enters the body, it can disturb the natural balance that helps keep swelling under control. Instead of calming the system, it may encourage irritation to build slowly in the joints. This often shows up the next morning in a way many people recognize all too well. Imagine an older woman who enjoys a glass of wine each evening. It becomes part of her routine, something that helps her unwind. But over time, she begins to notice something strange. When she wakes up in the morning, her hands feel tighter. Her knees feel heavier as she stands up from the bed. The stiffness lingers longer than it used to. At first, she blames the weather, or simply the passing years. Yet the evening habit she never questioned may be quietly contributing to that discomfort. This does not mean a person must remove every small pleasure from life. But reducing alcohol and choosing gentler options like warm tea or simply drinking more water can sometimes help the body settle and reduce that morning stiffness many seniors struggle with. Of course, alcohol is only one part of the picture. Another common group of foods, often eaten during breakfast or lunch, can cause sudden rises in blood sugar that place even more strain on the joints. And for many people over 60, these foods appear on the table far more often than they realize. 3. Refined carbohydrates, the everyday foods that can quietly stiffen your joints. As we just discussed, certain evening habits can influence how our joints feel the next morning. But there is another group of foods that many people eat far more often, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day, without realizing the quiet effect they may have on the body. These are refined carbohydrates, Foods like white bread, sweet pastries, sugary cereals, and soft baked treats that feel light and comforting but may slowly place stress on aging joints. Think about a typical breakfast for many older adults: a slice of white toast with jam, maybe a donut from the local shop, or a bowl of sweet cereal. It tastes pleasant and fills the stomach for a while. Yet these foods break down quickly in the body and can cause sudden jumps in blood sugar. When that happens repeatedly, day after day, the body can respond with swelling that quietly settles into the joints. Imagine a grandfather who starts every morning with toast and pastries because they are easy to prepare. Over the years, he begins to notice that bending his knees takes more effort. When he grips a coffee mug, his fingers feel tighter than before. The stiffness does not arrive suddenly. It slowly builds, like a door hinge that has lost its oil. This is why many health experts encourage replacing these foods with options that digest more slowly, such as fresh vegetables, berries, and whole grains. These foods give the body steady energy and may help calm the irritation that often worsens joint pain. And while refined breads and sweets are common on many tables, another everyday ingredient hides in cooking oils used in kitchens across the country. Surprisingly, this ingredient may also quietly influence inflammation inside the joints, which is what we will look at next. 4. Vegetable seed oils, the cooking ingredient that may quietly increase inflammation. As we just mentioned, many foods that affect our joints are not always obvious. Sometimes the real issue is not only what we eat, but also what we cook with. One common example sits quietly in kitchens everywhere, often used without a second thought. These are vegetable seed oils, such as corn oil, soybean oil, and sunflower oil. For many families, these oils have been part of daily cooking for decades. They are used to fry eggs in the morning, to cook vegetables for dinner, or to prepare quick meals when time is short. Because they are so familiar, most people never stop to wonder how they might affect the body over time. But as the years pass, the body becomes more sensitive to certain foods and cooking ingredients. Some of these oils can encourage swelling inside the body when they are used too often. This swelling may not be obvious at first, yet it can slowly settle into areas that already carry strain, especially the knees, hips, and fingers. Imagine a woman who cooks most of her meals at home and believes she is doing everything right. She prepares vegetables, eggs, and simple dishes for her family. Yet she uses the same cooking oil every day, the one she has trusted for years. Over time, she begins to notice her knees feeling tighter when she climbs the stairs, and her hands feel less flexible in the morning. The change is subtle, but it slowly grows. Choosing gentler cooking fats, such as olive oil or oils from natural fruits, can sometimes help the body stay calmer and place less strain on the joints. Still, cooking oils are only part of the story. Another type of fat hides in many packaged foods and fried meals, and it may place even greater pressure on aging joints. That is the next food we need to talk about. 5. Trans fats, the hidden fat that can slowly burden aging joints. As we just discussed, even the oils used in cooking can influence how our joints feel over time, but there is another type of fat that hides even more quietly in everyday foods. Many people do not see it, yet it appears in many packaged snacks and fried meals we have enjoyed for years. These are trans fats. You can often find them in foods like French fries, packaged pastries, cookies, margarine, and many fast foods. These meals are convenient and familiar. For decades, they have been part of family gatherings, quick lunches, or simple treats during the day. Yet these foods contain a kind of fat that the body struggles to handle well. When this fat builds up over time, it can encourage irritation throughout the body. That irritation may not be obvious at first, but slowly it can settle in the joints. The knees may feel heavier when standing up. The hips may ache after walking a short distance. Fingers may feel stiff when trying to open a jar. Imagine a retired man who enjoys stopping by a local diner for fried foods once or twice a week. At first, it feels like a harmless treat. But as the years pass, he begins to notice that getting out of his chair takes more effort. His knees do not move as smoothly as they once did. The small habits he never questioned may quietly be placing extra pressure on his joints. Choosing foods that are fresh and simply prepared can help the body stay calmer and reduce the strain that builds over time. Yet even when people avoid fried snacks and packaged treats, another source of trouble often remains hidden in drinks and sweet foods. And for many adults over 60, this next ingredient may be one of the most surprising causes of joint discomfort. 6. Sugary drinks. The sweet habit that can aggravate joint pain. As we just mentioned, even when people begin avoiding fried foods and packaged snacks, another hidden source of trouble often remains in the diet, and surprisingly, it is not always a food. For many adults over 60, the real issue may be what they drink each day. Sugary drinks, such as soda, sweet fruit drinks, and many bottled beverages, may quietly increase swelling inside the body. These drinks taste refreshing and harmless. Some people enjoy them with lunch, others sip them during the afternoon, and many keep them in the refrigerator as a small treat. But drinks filled with sugar move through the body very quickly, and they can cause sudden rises in blood sugar. When this happens again and again, it can encourage irritation that settles in the joints. Imagine a grandmother who enjoys a sweet soda every afternoon while watching television. It becomes part of her daily routine, something simple that brings a moment of comfort. Yet over time she begins to notice that her ankles feel heavier in the evening, and her fingers seem stiffer when she wakes up the next morning. She may never suspect that the sweet drink she enjoys each day could be quietly contributing to that discomfort. Replacing sugary drinks with water, warm tea, or unsweetened beverages can help the body stay more balanced and reduce the strain placed on the joints. Still, there is one more type of food we need to discuss. For some people over 60, especially those who experience sudden attacks of joint pain, this final category may be the most important one to understand. 7. Foods that trigger gout, when certain meals turn into sudden joint pain. As we just discussed, sweet drinks can quietly increase irritation inside the body. But for some older adults, there is another kind of pain that arrives much more suddenly. It may appear overnight, without warning, and it can be so intense that even the touch of a blanket feels unbearable. This is often linked to a condition many people know as gout. Gout happens when certain foods cause a buildup of waste in the body that can form tiny crystals inside the joints. These crystals often collect in the big toe, the ankle, or sometimes the knee. When they appear, the joint can become swollen, warm, and extremely painful. Imagine an older man who enjoys rich meals several times a week. He likes red meat, seafood dinners, and sweet drinks with his food. One night, he goes to bed feeling perfectly fine, but in the early morning hours, he wakes up with a sharp pain in his big toe. The joint is swollen, tender, and he struggles even to stand up. Many people who experience this kind of attack say it feels as if something sharp is pressing inside the joint. Foods such as large amounts of red meat, certain seafood, and sugary drinks can sometimes raise the chance of this painful condition appearing. Drinking enough water and choosing lighter meals may help the body remove these substances more easily. Now that we have talked about the 7 foods that may quietly worsen joint pain after 60, an important question naturally follows. If these foods can make inflammation worse, what kinds of foods may help calm the body and support healthier joints? That is exactly what we will explore next. 8. Gentle foods that may help calm the joints. After hearing about the foods that may quietly worsen joint pain, many people naturally begin to wonder something important. If certain meals can add to the discomfort in our knees, hands, and hips, are there foods that may help the body feel calmer instead? The encouraging news is that simple choices at the table can sometimes support the joints rather than burden them. Think about a warm meal that feels nourishing rather than heavy. Fresh fish cooked lightly with olive oil, a bowl of vegetables, or a small serving of berries after dinner. These kinds of foods bring natural nutrients that the body has learned to use for generations. They do not rush through the system the way sugary or heavily processed foods do. Instead, they move slowly, giving the body what it needs without stirring unnecessary irritation. Many people also find comfort in gentle spices such as turmeric, which has been used in traditional cooking for centuries. Others notice that drinking green tea or eating colorful fruits like cherries and dark berries helps their body feel lighter and more balanced. These foods contain natural compounds that may help the body settle and reduce the swelling that often worsens joint pain. Imagine an older couple who slowly change their evening meals. Instead of fried foods and sugary drinks, they begin preparing simple dishes with vegetables, fish, and warm tea. Over time, they start noticing small but meaningful changes. Morning stiffness feels shorter. Walking around the house becomes easier. The difference may not happen overnight, but gentle changes often bring steady improvement. These simple choices remind us of something important. Aging may bring changes to the body, but many of the habits that protect our joints are still within our control. And that brings us to the most important message of today's video. 9. Conclusion. Caring for your joints as the years move forward. As we grow older, the body becomes more delicate in ways we may not always notice right away. Joints that once carried us through long days of work, family life, and countless steps now ask for more care and attention. The stiffness in the morning, the quiet ache in the knees, or the swelling in the fingers are often small signals that the body is asking for gentler treatment. Many people believe that these changes are simply a normal part of aging, but as we have seen today, what we eat each day can quietly influence how our joints feel. Some foods may slowly add to irritation, while others can help the body remain calmer and more balanced. For older adults, the hours of sleep can be especially important. During the night, the body works quietly to repair itself. But if the body is carrying too much irritation from daily habits, swelling can build while we sleep. That is why some people wake up with joints that feel stiff and heavy in the morning. It is not always the night itself causing the discomfort, but the small choices made during the day. The encouraging truth is that small changes can make a meaningful difference over time. Choosing simpler foods, drinking enough water, and paying attention to how the body responds may help protect the joints that carry us through life. When you look ahead to the next 1, 3, or even 5 years, the habits you build today may shape how freely you move in the future. A body that is cared for gently today may still walk comfortably, climb stairs, and enjoy daily life years from now. Growing older does not mean giving up control over your health. It means understanding your body more deeply and choosing habits that help protect it for the years ahead. If this video helped you better understand how everyday foods may affect your joints, please take a moment to like the video and share it with a friend or family member who may also be living with arthritis. Your small action could help someone else protect their health. I would also love to hear from you, so feel free to leave a comment below and tell us which foods you try to avoid or what has helped your joints feel better. And if you want more simple health guidance designed especially for adults over 60, be sure to subscribe to the channel and join our senior health community.